So the Muslims ask, not Muslims, ex-Muslims, I guess, doubting Muslims, in the middle Muslim, just crossing over. Aren't you guys afraid of hell? Like if atheism's right, you just dissolve in the ground. If Islam is, aren't you all scared of punishments of hell? I personally just live my life sinfully while still being Muslim. That way I at least eventually go to Jannah. I didn't read that part earlier. So I replied, can't be afraid of what you know doesn't exist. And this person replies, this is so fallacious, but that's all he said. And I asked, why do you believe that? He says, what? So I say, why do you believe what I said is fallacious? And then I noticed he updated his comment. He added 3 sentences. You can't know it doesn't exist. You can be afraid of things even though it's completely unreasonable. That's what phobias are. You are being an edgelord and a lazy thinker. I forgot what edgelord means. So I replied again to that comment. So I said, oh, you added some more text. Sure, I know. Just like I know there's no demons or Santa Claus or souls or any other superstitions. All superstitions are fallacious. I do not fear what I know doesn't exist. What do you think about that? Mr. Zorro, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, what you're saying is totally logic. The people, Muslim people, say, some people they say, even if we are not sure what is exist or what is not exist, I will stay in Islam in case if atheist is wrong, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's what the guy was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me ask you this now. That same person, do they also believe in, like, do they have a hard time understanding why demons are bullshit? Or walking under a ladder gives you bad luck? Or ayn? Or that same person believes all those things?
If you believe in religion, yes. Sometimes the religion...
Yeah, but you just said something different, though. This person doesn't believe in religion, but is sort of pretending to because he thinks that'll give him heaven. So it's a little bit different than what you said. It's not like he's hardcore, yes, Islam is the truth. He's not. He was already ex-Muslim. He's like, no, I'm going to stay in Islam so I don't go to hell. So he's not really what you just said.
No, they are not ex-Muslim.
You wouldn't call this person ex-Muslim?
No, you are right. He's not ex-Muslim. No. Ex-Muslim cannot...
Got beyond this logic.
Yeah, already. That's why he get out. If you are in that logic, you can't be.
I wonder how many ex-Muslims, once they become one, how many of them are still believing in the superstitions like demons and ayn?
I think what's make there is I realize there is a major rule in that. Anything you think or we think it's bullshit, once you put holy on it, or it's written in a holy book, it's become believable. It's become respected. Doesn't matter how thin it is, how superficial it is. So if you tell demons exist, they will say yes, it is. But if you name demons ghosts, and ghost doesn't mention in any holy book.
Oh, they don't believe in ghosts.
They won't believe in ghosts.
Yeah. But that's the same thing.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's just a different name.
Yes. So anything you give it a holy.
Okay, but you're talking about the Muslim right now. The person that leaves.
Any religion, Muslims.
But the person that leaves, and like a percentage of the people that are leaving, how many of them already knew or still believe in something like the jinn?
Very little. And if they still believe in jinn, they think they are ex-Muslim, but they are not. in my perspective.
Holy shit! Why do you think they're not ex-Muslim?
How you can be ex-Muslim when you get out, you being out of the box. How you can still believe a lot of wrong ideas, some of the wrong ideas that you learn it from that books.
Okay,
And
well,
you call yourself
well,
you're out.
let me ask you this then, or compare it to something else. There are plenty of atheists in America that, let's say, didn't have much connection to any religion. Let's say they grew up as a Christian, whatever, I don't know. But they're not now. And they really weren't very Christian before either. You know. And they believe in things like horoscopes. You know horoscopes?
Yeah, every month has.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They believe in that stuff. Okay, that's a superstition.
Yeah.
But and they didn't get that from a religion.
Yeah.
Unless you count whatever the Chinese were doing 4,000 years ago a religion. So what's going on there?
Yeah, a lot of people also.
Here's the point of what I was trying to say too. The demon concept, the jinn, it's before Islam. Okay, and my part of the point of saying that is tons of people, non-Muslims, believe in demons. Okay? So maybe these people who do leave Islam, they're like, well, this idea it's wider than just Islam. That's why it's true. I don't know. Is that what they're thinking? I don't know what they're thinking. I'm trying to understand what they're thinking.
A lot of people believe in magic. There's nothing to do with religion. Also, they think magic. I can't do magic to you.
Yeah, like
I can't change your
like a curse.
thoughts.
Like a curse, yes.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
or bad,
Yeah.
evil one, which is curse.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's not only because of religion. It's lack of knowledge.
Scientific approach knowledge, right?
Yeah.
How to tell what is superstition and what
Yeah.
is not.
So you can believe in the horoscopes or magic or religion. They're all the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But once you have that
So,
knowledge.
but what that tells me and what I'm noticing is, like when I try to use an argument about, like when somebody asks me why you left Islam, and I say, because I found out it tells you to believe in demons and to go to an exorcist instead of a hospital. And then some of them come back and say, wait, so you didn't believe in demons when you were a Muslim? I was like, no, I thought that was metaphor, and that sounds fucking crazy to me. And when I found out actual Muslims actually believe in demons, actually believe they're possessed, actually go to exorcists, and those exorcists claiming they remove demons, and this person didn't go to a fucking hospital, that's when I realized it's all retarded. And there's a lot of people apparently doing this. A lot. It's like the normal. And one difference between me and them I'm noticing is, like I married this person, okay, who did this. I was born and raised in America with American TV and American public schools. She was born in Syria with Syrian TV and Syrian public schools with a bunch of Muslims around her. And, Islamic school and stuff. And to be clear, I went to an Islamic school for 1 year. I don't remember anyone ever talking about demons. We didn't read those surahs.
You mean the Islam in America is different from the Islam in Middle East?
Are you?
At the school, at least.
Are you joking? There's millions of versions.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So everybody makes their own version. Yeah. But I grew up with cartoons like Casper the Ghost.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Syrians not have that kind of TV?
Yes, they do.
They did? Okay, so what's the difference?
That's a ghost. The other is demons. It's different.
Why is somebody like me can recognize ghosts and demons are the same thing? Well,
Demons written in the holy books
that
as
thing again.
as they are
So I'm just too smart?
knowledge. It's knowledge. Everybody has your knowledge. Will be that level of smart.
They're getting confused over words. If I say if I say demon and you say jinn, we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about different languages for one thing.
Yeah.
And then if I say ghost or poltergeist, I don't even know how to pronounce that word.
Yeah.
Poltergeist, it's another word for the same thing.
Yes. It's someone living with you, but you can't see him. It's all it's all same word, you know, same meaning. I mean, different words, same meaning.
I mean, really, angel is in there with them too.
Yeah. All that.
To think that they're different, to
Yeah.
think that an angel is different than a demon.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they talk about them as the same. Kind of. A little bit, right? Like the angels that's God's helpers. They're beings,
Yeah.
right? But they have no will. They only follow what God says. And then the jinn is more like us. They're also invisible beings.
That is good and bad.
They're also invisible beings. Oh, no. But am I remembering correctly that some of the jinn aren't necessarily bad?
Yeah, like human being.
Okay. So
There's good and evil in them. Yeah. We being created from clay, they created from fire, I guess.
my aunt reminded me, or she told me of a discussion that I had with my own brother when I was 10 years old. He was 9 years old. And I don't remember this, but she told me this story. We were in Syria. We were laying down in this big living room, everyone sleeping on the floor. And the adhan came on. And
Calling for prayer.
yeah, and my brother turned to me and he said something like, and I wish she was here, I can ask her. He said something like, do you think the God here is the same as the God over there? Because in America, we don't hear adhan. And in Syria, we were hearing adhan. So like, he said, is this the same God? And she said, she heard me say in reply, I think they're different. We're having a theology discussion right before we go to sleep, 10 and 9 years old. He says, I think it's the same God. I'm like, I think they're different gods. And neither of us remember that discussion 30 years later. It's just, I only know because my aunt told me.
Well, I ask you about the school if it's different. I know there is too many versions of Islam. Every person has his own version, actually. But when you come to schools, I never been in Islamic school. I thought schools everywhere in the world is similar as a school.
No. Even if you take out Islam from this, there's no schools. The schools are not the same. There's so big differences between the schools. And even in their goals. So the American public school system, which started just after our Civil War, which is around the start of the Industrial Revolution, which is like 1860s, something like that. The designers of the school system had a particular goal. They wanted to make people obedient. They wanted them to be smart enough to work in the companies, but not smart enough to question the leaders of the world. So they wanted us to be obedient. They modeled the American system after the Prussian one. The Prussian one is the one that led to the people that went through the Prussian schools were the people that helped Hitler do the Holocaust. That's the system that the Americans decided to copy. And from what I understand, the Prussian system was designed after the Indian one. And what I remember about this, and I'm getting my information from a book, The Underground History of American Education by John Taylor Gatto. He wrote the book he published the book in 95, and this was after a 30-year career in New York City school system as a teacher, and he won awards. And in there, he explains that the Indian school system was, you have one teacher and 1,000 students. 1,000 students. It's one person talking at 1,000 people. There's no discussion happening when it's 1 on 1,000. It's for mind control. It's for indoctrination. It's not for learning. And what they did in the American education, what they did in the American education system, the one element of it that worked towards the goal of obedience is to remove the most important part of education, which is philosophy. And the previous 2,500 years or more, in the West, the standard education for people rich enough to hire the right tutors was what's called the classical education, and philosophy was the most important part, because philosophy is what you need to judge everything else. The philosophy, or more specifically epistemology, a branch of philosophy, it is the study of knowledge. You need your ideas about how to judge ideas so that you can judge other ideas. Philosophy or epistemology, you need epistemology to judge everything else. And they don't teach that in the American public school system. And like I said, it was the normal thing before that. Obviously, people knew. And there's schools teaching this today. Private schools, some, not all. A lot of the private schools just copy what the public schools did. But some of the private schools that understand what I'm talking about the classical education, they are teaching this stuff. And from what I understand, it's the IB schools, International Baccalaureate schools. I did a year of this kind of school, if I understand correctly, back in 5th grade in Syria. The school was called Ikarda. It doesn't exist anymore now, though, because of ISIS.
It was an American school?
It was a European school. There were some American teachers there, but it was European. And it was for the children of... So they were trying... the organization is trying to study agriculture of this, Syrian desert area.
Yeah, but not European, that's American. United Nations doing that.
United Nations?
Yeah.
Ikarda was United Nations?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So American and European.
Yeah.
It's supported by America too, but I heard they try to spy on the country when they bring that type of people in. Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. If you've been going 1,400 years with this religion doing this stuff, I would do that. We need some spies.
Well, a lot of Iraqis, militias and all that, they think American embassy in Iraq also spies on Iraq. Like, they are spies. They consider them spies. So,
I mean, in some sense, it is. Everyone is a spy. If you do something bad, and I think, hey, maybe I should tell someone, I'm a spy now. Once I tell somebody, right?
yeah.
We should have spies.
Well, they are embassy. They are not going to like uranium factory.
Yeah. They're not. They're not secret agents.
Sign some documents, giving visa.
So back to the main point, though. How do you help someone understand that? This discussion, and part of it, he said, phobia. He said, you can be, what is it? You can have a fear of something even though it's unreasonable. Notice how he said, even though it is unreasonable. He didn't say, even though the person recognizes it as unreasonable. He didn't say it that way. If I recognize it as unreasonable, then it would succeed. If I don't know it's unreasonable, but it is unreasonable, but I don't know that, then of course you got a problem.
I think he meant that. Like, let's suppose he meant that. If you He said, maybe, like, it's still, I don't understand it. Like, if you realize that thing is unreasonable, and you're still scared of it.
It means you don't realize it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
That's my...
And if you realize it's unreasonable and you still have a phobia of it, then you have a problem.
I think the problem is you don't realize it's unreasonable. You don't know how to think. You don't know how to form beliefs. All of your beliefs are like of the form, or the reason they're there, the reason you hold on to your beliefs is somebody else said so.
Yeah.
So then when somebody else says something else, your beliefs just flip-flop.
Yeah.
Like that.
You know, there's a lot of things as unreasonable. But because you see your society all believe in it, your school, your parents.
That, I think, makes it harder.
Very hard.
Yes.
You trust your parents the most, especially when you are a kid.
When you're 4. All right. But
Yeah.
that was your whole world.
Yeah. Everything you...
That's 90% of the people you know.
Yeah.
When you're 4 years old.
Yeah, like 95 of the people today, what they believe today, what they do today, is what they learned when they were 4. They thought that's the right thing to do. That's what we were doing. My parents, they were doing that.
That's the other part, like not just religion, but even the concept of jinn or believing in jinn.
Yeah.
If you're living in a household and a place where everyone believes that, or almost everyone believes that, and the people that don't believe it don't really say anything, then yeah, I guess it's pretty difficult. Where I grew up in a place where I never heard anyone talking about jinn or demons. And the only time I did see anything was watching cartoons like Casper the Ghost. And then, I don't know at what age when I finally did hear about demons and jinn. But also, before I heard those things in the context of Islam, I also watched movies that had exorcists, okay? Somebody's possessed. There's a movie called Exorcist. Somebody was possessed. She looks green. There's this one scene where the exorcist is trying to get the demon out of her, and she's strapped to this bed. And at one point she pukes, and it's like 12 feet projectile puking. It's a really funny scene, funny just in the sense that it's ridiculous. It doesn't have anything to do with demons. But like watching that, you know, that kind of movie and Casper the Ghost, watching that, it's not like I look at it and say, oh, they're telling a story and that the stuff they're saying is real. No, it's the opposite. They're telling a story and it's all bullshit. It's all just for fun. That's how I saw it. You know, because there's a lot of movies that just say fake things. But yeah, I guess if you're growing up in a place where everyone around you believes in jinn, it's harder, huh?
I'll tell you a short story of mine. I grew up in Middle East, outside of the capital. So, outside,
Like 10 minutes outside of the capital?
6 hours.
Oh,
So,
far away.
yeah, 6 hour driving.
Yeah.
So,
In a town like this one we're in. Or you mean even further remote from a city?
I'll tell you what's the link between the capital and the cities outside the capital. It doesn't matter how far it is from the capital. So I lived outside of my country and lived in Africa. In Africa, the things is less, like it's more relaxed.
Yeah.
You can go to church.
Can we say where?
Okay, in West Africa, in Gambia.
Gambia.
You can go to church.
There's Muslims there is the point.
It's majority.
Majority Muslim.
Yeah, and there is a lot of Christian too.
And you were a Muslim at the time?
Yeah.
Initially.
In Iraq or all Middle East, you see the mosque all the time. you hear the speeches, your Friday speech, and sometimes evening after the night evening pray. There is also lessons. So
Yeah, and in Gambia, none of that.
So actually, there is a brainwash all day,
Constantly.
every day.
Yeah.
Schools, even when you talk to your friends, if we want to do something, only if God willing.
They're always saying that. Yeah. The brainwashing is all the time.
All the time. And even today, when you go, you see WhatsApp groups, Facebook, it's all this. Tomorrow we will have eclipse. Let's pray this. Let's do that. Let's do this religious activities all the time, and at every holiday,
More than any other religion. Is that right?
Yes, and that's what makes it really hard to believe what we are doing is all. Your life is nothing. Like it's not true. What we are on the wrong track.
All of it.
You can't believe you are on the wrong track. It's hard.
Now, a lot of people have this problem even without Islam. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah. So when I moved to Africa, I am still at my religion, but it's give me a little break of that brainwashing.
Of the constant brainwashing.
So I start thinking, where is the truth? Am I thinking in the right way, or I'm just saying what I'm hearing?
You thought that?
Yeah, I start thinking.
How old were you?
I was 27. So it took me like 3 or 4 years to realize that
3 or 4 years from 27.
Yes, like I'm 30 now.
Yeah.
I
4 years to think about the question.
Yeah.
Am I right, or am I really thinking right, or was I just believing what other people say?
I realized there's too many religions in the world, and in history. There is some religion maybe it doesn't exist today.
Yeah.
There's thousands of religions, thousands of thoughts, and each religion is either also have parts. Like you don't see one religion; they are all the same. They have groups too.
Divisions.
Divisions. Yeah.
72 different sects just for Islam and 200 for Christianity.
Yeah. But all religions like that. Mm-hmm. So, like, after a lot of researches and you have to dare, not because you, like the guy said, don't you afraid from hell, because how we grow up for 27 years, they just scare you from hell.
And when you say dare, you mean to dare consider the possibility of leaving Islam and dare maybe going to hell? Is that what you mean?
Dare to think, dare to question yourself.
Because you might go to hell? Is that the problem? Why is it a dare? It must be something hard.
Yeah.
The dare is to question all of this because and if the reason it's a dare is the danger is you might go to hell. Is that what you're saying? Or something else?
Yeah, or make my God angry at me, mad at me. Because I'm questioning myself.
Again, that's the hell, right? Otherwise, why would you care?
Yeah. Okay. Hell or curse in my life will happen. Something bad to me will happen.
And when did you have the concept of daring to? Is that at 27 or 30?
At 27, no, but maybe, let's say at 30. I start really thinking with dareness, because before when I think, I stop myself.
Shit.
Yeah.
So for 4 years you're thinking, but you still would have a block.
The environment there, because there is no brainwashing all day, every day.
Yeah.
It's give you a break.
But it still took you 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Me, living in the US my whole life, I never had any of these problems. I didn't have anyone pushing any indoctrination on me. I had that 1 year of Muslim school, but that's, I don't know. I don't think that was really.
You don't have
anything.
the feeding every day.
Yeah. My parents never talked about it. We didn't have a lot. We didn't have friends where we would go to the house and talk about it.
Like it's not bad. Like not very bad to talk about it from time to time. But when you have it really every day, everywhere you go.
Every day, 50 times a day.
Yeah. Everywhere you go.
Like the month of Ramadan.
Yeah.
It's even more. They're putting it in overdrive.
Yeah. So when I realized that we're not better than other religion. Why we think we are right and they are all wrong? We're not better than them. The whole religions in the world in history.
31 years old. You figured that out?
Yeah, 30 to 31. Then I had the chance then to visit for the first time back my family. 4 or 5 years later, I'm already.
You had a 5-year window of not seeing your family and not
Yes.
being in those countries.
Yes.
And not being in Iraq.
Yes.
And not having the constant
Yes.
indoctrination.
I've become myself. I think in my way now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, let's say I become ex-Muslim. I wasn't sure.
What does that mean?
Like when I had the chance to go back to Iraq to visit the family for a couple of months. Will this what happening in Middle East and Iraq will convince me back and go back?
Oh, that's what you mean by you weren't sure. You don't know. You didn't know how you would react to being back over there with them.
Where there is a lot of feeding.
Do you mean like you? So you knew why you were that way, and you knew that re-indoctrination could bring you back.
Yes, I thought like I know between me and myself, I have I've been convinced with my ideas, with what I learn, with what I read. Yeah. That's we are all equal. We are not better than other religions. I have no really good reason to think we better than other religious. So when I get out of religion and I start like, let's say atheist, like I think myself atheist. I decided to be atheist. So because it's no religion convinced. There is no religion predict any of the scientific stuff we know today. I like last time when we talked, no religion knows how the sun works and the earth or the moon. They don't know. There's even today people think the flat earth,
The flat
still
earthers,
today,
yeah.
and that's the cause and the results of religion. There is no other reason to say the earth flat.
Oh, you think all the flat earthers are religious?
The idea come from religion. So when I fly back to to Iraq, where I live outside of the capital has some, let's say, bars, has some disco, nightclubs.
I think I know what you're saying. In where you were, there's none of that.
In Iraq, only
where you were,
yes,
there's none of the.
We are more like the outside of the capital. The cities in Iraq and
they're
Middle
not
East
connected to the rest of the world much.
Like Aleppo.
They don't have a lot. Yeah. There's no outside.
Conservative.
There's barely any outside influence.
Yeah.
Where Damascus, being the capital, there's a lot of outside influence. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Foreigners sometimes they go to the capitals. Yeah. So the outside the capital, cities are conservatives more than the capital. So I went back to my city and I stayed a couple of months with my family, with my friends. I only let my family knows that my new beliefs.
You told them right away.
Yes, only the family, no friends. And
you weren't. Can I ask a question? People are gonna want to ask because they ask this all the time. Were you afraid of how your family was going to react?
No, because I know my family loves me, whoever I am.
Not only that, but let me take a guess. You were a strong figure in your family.
Yeah.
Already you're a strong figure in your family, right? People come to you to resolve issues in your family.
Yeah.
So you're
the oldest,
you're the new chief.
I'm the oldest brother, yeah.
It's more like you actually overtook your father. I learned this in therapy, by the way, about myself. My therapist taught me this. What I think happened to you is you overtook your father's role of the head of the family.
I would if I'm living with them. I'm not living with them.
But still, people come to you. They call you from overseas to ask you how to resolve an issue in your family.
Yeah.
They're not talking to your dad, and it's about your dad. So that's the point. You're the new head of the family in a sense. My point is to say that there's a lot of you have a lot of confidence in your role in your family as a leader.
Not only that, let me add something to that.
Yeah.
Because my family, like, they want the best for me. Like, they start praying for me.
After they found out.
Yeah, for God to forgive me about my how I'm thinking and what I believe. So they don't want to hurt me. They want God to forgive me.
Yeah.
And not to put me in a curse or put me in hell.
You come from a good family.
Yeah. So when I get back to Africa after my visit, then nothing influenced me while I'm there. Well, I was having, maybe there's 5%, 10% I'll get back to Islam when I get back to the same region that's really convinced me more and more and every day while I'm growing up.
But that didn't happen.
Me to go to Islam. That didn't happen. When I get back, then I know I'm really out.
I see, because you did a test.
Yes.
You were there for 2 months, you didn't go back, and you probably thought it's even dumber than you realized.
Yeah. Then when I get back and I'm still like that, and I realize I'm really out of the box. Not only that, while I'm there that 2 months, I see things different. I see how a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, you got to see it. Yeah. With your new lens.
Yes,
you got to see things again.
I just get out
which
of
you
the
didn't
box
get to
and
do.
I'm seeing
Which you didn't get to do while you were in Africa.
Yeah, I didn't believe that for 30 years, 27 years we were doing this, but nobody sees it, and I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Where's the mouthwash?
Right there. So, but now here's what I want to ask you. On your road from 27 to 31, and then after that 2 months of being back in Iraq, during this range of time, I want to know about like your beliefs or fears about these things, like your fear of hell.
It's gone.
Okay, but during the 4 years while in Africa, when you weren't.
I wasn't sure. It was not fear of hell. I just asked one of my friends who came to Africa on a business trip for a couple of months.
The Egyptian guy?
Jordanian,
sorry. He was atheist.
He was already atheist. He was older than me.
I remember you told me.
And he's smart and he's already atheist for like years.
Yeah. Veteran, like us now. Yeah.
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 And I'm a newbie.
Yes.
I asked him before I visit Iraq.
Before.
I asked him what if we are wrong?
Yeah.
I don't ask that question today.
Yeah.
But back then,
okay,
yes,
you're answering my question. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What if we are wrong?
Yeah.
Yes.
He said, he didn't explain to me. He just said, we'll be screwed.
That's all? And he laughed, though.
That's all, yeah.
And you got to see his reaction of laughing.
Yeah.
And that's important.
And he laughed.
That's important. It's not just the
in
replies in words that we give that people need to see. They also need to see our emotional reactions to it. You know what I mean? Like, I noticed something about my kids. When they were much younger, like, let's say, I don't know, 8 years ago, let's say, or 9 years ago, when one of my daughters or my youngest daughter would ask me a question and I would answer, depending on the tone of my answer, she would know whether I'm joking or telling the truth, or variations of that too. And sometimes I would answer like with some disgust and like derision of the idea of being stupid. And it's not her idea. A lot of times she's asking a question that she heard on the internet or whatever. And she says, what do you think of that? And then my reply, it'll be something like, and you can see this in my videos. It's actually happening more than I thought it exists. But I watch my own videos and I notice, man, I look really pissed. at this idea that I believe is really stupid.
Yeah.
And when my kids would see that tone, that gives us some information more than just plainly saying the words like, yes, I do not believe in X, and this is why I do not believe in X. And I think all these people that are watching also need that. And you know, all these ex-Muslims all these Muslims and ex-Muslims that I'm dealing with, they also need to see your tone of your message, because that communicates something. So like when I reply, you can't be scared of what you don't believe is true, I'm making a very confident statement. I'm not saying things like, well, I think maybe this is true. No, I'm saying this is fucking true. A lot of people try to push back by saying, well, you're fallible, you might be wrong. That's not an issue. We're fallible. Everything we know is we're fallible. Our physics theories are that way. Do you have confidence in our physics theories? How the hell do you think we made computers?
Yeah, you are fallible too.
Well, the point is, there's not being fallible is not a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem for knowing shit.
Yeah.
It's not a problem for having confidence in what you fucking know.
Yeah.
I know physics theories make fucking sense because look at our damn computers and spaceships.
Yeah.
And I know Santa Claus and Jinn don't make sense because there's, like, it's the opposite. Where's the, you know, like, for physics theories, there's spaceships and computers. For Santa Claus and Jinn, what is there? Nothing. What is it? Where? Somebody said to me, when we were talking about jinn and believing in jinn, and they were saying something like, well, you didn't see it, that's why you don't believe it. You have to see it to believe it, they said. I said, no, let me fix that for you. You have to believe it to see it. The only people seeing jinn are the ones that already believe in fucking jinn. The people that don't see jinn are the ones that don't believe in jinn. It's not the reverse way. It's not that you see jinn and then you believe in jinn. That can't happen.
Every idea, doesn't matter how much, is superficial. So once you put a religious holy on it, it become real for them. It's become, that's the truth. And we will not like anyone telling us that's not true.
Fucking 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
And killing people who leave the religion.
It's exactly like cartoons, you know.
What do you mean? We don't believe cartoons. When we're watching Tom and Jerry,
yeah, if Tom and Jerry written or mentioned in a holy book, if you don't believe in Tom, Jerry, and real, we're gonna hate you or we're gonna kill you. Or you are not part of us. Or you will go to hell. A lot of stories in holy books is, for me, just like Mickey Mouse and Tom and Jerry. A lot of stories. Demons is one of them.
Okay, I want to bring up something. It's a little bit different than what you're saying. There's this concept, solipsism. It says, you cannot be sure that anything exists except for your own consciousness. And a lot of people take this idea to mean, oh wait, that means it's possible that I'm the only one that exists and everyone else is a figment of my imagination. And there's people, when they hear about this, they freak the fuck out and start having anxiety attacks, fear, every day about this for like a year. Now compare this to the fear of Islam and hell. Solipsism, there's no religion around it. There's no one trying to get you to believe it. There's no one indoctrinating you with it. There's no part of it that says if you don't believe this, you're going to hell. None of that is the case. This is just some weird, stupid idea that some philosopher made a few hundred years ago that everyone after him misunderstood. This is not what the fuck he was saying. And now it's on the internet and people are reading it, accidentally find it. Okay? No one was intending to go try to look for this. They accidentally find it. They end up sticking this stupid idea in their head, and they start having anxiety attacks, just like these Muslims are. But it's not even a religion. And it doesn't have a hell concept, and no one's trying to indoctrinate you with this. So this problem that Muslims are having really has nothing to do with Islam or hell or anything else. It's a basic psychology issue. It's a basic epistemology issue. How you form your beliefs.
For them, it's what I learned when I was 4.
And to be
That's
clear,
what they do.
to be clear, the Islam and all the other stuff and the hell and all that, it just makes it a little bit worse. It's not a lot or a big difference. Being fooled by solipsism and then getting scared of it, and then being fooled by Islam and being scared of it, the Islam one is just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more things in there to help you be scared of it. You can be scared of all kinds of stupid things that are fake. If you're stupid enough to believe those things.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, people will say, like I just said, they're stupid enough to believe those things. When you're 3, you are stupid enough, right? But also, you haven't been really indoctrinated yet. You don't even know, you don't know the fear thing. You don't, like, a 3-year-old who hears about solipsism will not freak out. Because he doesn't even know basic concepts enough to know, like, what does it mean? What do you mean you don't exist? They don't want to know what that means. What do you mean you're a figment of my imagination? What? What's that? 3-year-old can't get scared yet. More like 10 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old, and can actually understand what solipsism is at some level, and then you can get scared. But you're still not at a high enough level to know what the fuck is being said here. Yes, obviously other people exist. For solipsism to be true, here's what it means. Like, and I mean the confused version of it where people say, oh, maybe I'm the only one that's real and everyone else is fake. And they're all in my imagination. For that to be true, that means that everything Einstein made, I actually made. I'm a fucking genius. I'm such a genius, I made everything Einstein made. But I can't go repeat any of that now. I somehow forgot it all too. So I'm the only one that exists in the world. I made all that amazing shit in the world, but I can't recall any of it now. This is fucking retarded. But there's people scared of this.
What's the point they are scared of it? Why?
What are they scared about? I don't know. The idea that, well, they actually never say exactly what they're scared of. What it seems like what they're scared of is just the...
Oh, I'm alone.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I don't get it. And who knows, maybe all these people are actually having sort of this problem. Let's say they're in a basement and don't have any friends. And maybe that's sort of what's happening to them. You know? They're not connected to anyone else in the world. Let's say they don't have a good relationship with their family and then they're just in their basement, don't have friends. They kind of feel that way. Like they're, you know? So I'm going to keep talking about the solipsism stuff because I'm trying to help ex-Muslims and doubting Muslims to see that their problems are far more general than just to do with Islam or even religion. And if they understood their problems more generally and how they're the same as these other people who have a different religion, or the same as these other people who don't even have a religion, and they just stupidly believe in this solipsism stuff, if they understand that generality there, I think that would help them to help them see a bigger perspective, to help them less focus on Islam and more focus on how you think.
The key for, like, the big key, it's the way you think and the way you collect your mind, how you collect evidence.
How you form your beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah, if we, like, That's impossible. But if we
And
all
how
do
you
it
hold
right,
them.
if we all do it right, there will be no religion. There will be no superstitions at all. No magic, no demons, no curse. All that shallow ideas will be disappear if we really, all of us know how to form that thinking.
Yeah, that's like saying if we all became scientists.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we all started thinking like scientists, yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to teach the scientific approach. For anyone who's listening who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm trying to teach the scientific approach. You can go on my blog, just search Rami Rustam, Google Rami Rustam blog. I think you'll find it. Or Rami Rustam blog and the words, the scientific approach, that should find it too. When you get to my blog, it's very easy to find it on the right. I'm trying to teach the scientific approach to help people come out of these their own internal hell. Each one of these people has a hell inside of their head.
Yeah. I bet they imagine it differently.
How they imagine it.
Like some people imagine that it's
Oh, yeah.
red. Some people
Yeah.
yellow.
Yes.
Some people
Same with heaven.
Yeah.
What's heaven like?
Yeah.
See, what's weird is what I hear about heaven is it'll be whatever you end up liking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the hell, no, it's this way.
Whatever NWF scared the most.
But they're deciding for you what it is that you're supposed to be scared of the most.
Yeah.
They decided. It's burning in fire. They could have made weirder shit, right? It's not burning, it's freezing. Right?
I think because the desert were like where it's
No, I don't think it has to do with the desert, because the hell thing is older than Arabs. Come on.
Oh, okay. It's not because the heat of the desert?
No, the Jews had it earlier. Judaism had it like
That's true.
before Christianity even, yeah. So they're the ones. You guys should blame the Jews. The Jews are all wrong. But I don't even know. By the way, Zoroastrianism, I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's supposedly the religion even older than Judaism. And supposedly some people still do it or whatever. And it's supposedly the first monotheistic religion. And I wonder if that one had the hell concept. Or did the Jews make it?
Yeah, we got it from the Jews. It's Jewish idea. Jahannam is Jewish idea and Jewish word actually.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's where we got it from. So is there a hell concept in all the other non-Abrahamic religions? Like, take out Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, those three.
I don't think so.
Nobody else has hell? We did it.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, we did it.
If you go to like China and Confucianism, Confucius was their dude. But that's more like a prophet with no God. There's no God mentioned there.
Buddha too.
That's also Buddha is also China?
Yeah, India.
It's India.
East Euro, East Asia.
Yeah, Buddha too. Now Hinduism, it seems like those, except now they have, okay, there's a bunch of gods also. That's getting weird. And then over here in this area, we're like, no, there's a God. One.
Yeah.
Which of those work better, you think?
That's why I told you that when I realized that I find I was thinking when I was Muslims, I was thinking, we have ideas better than all these. Actually, I realize when I'm older and stop from the feeling every day that stopping me from thinking and the brainwashing, when that stops, I realize that we are all equal. We all believe in a lot of lies and a lot of unconventional things. Cannot convince any.
I'd like to say something. You said we're all equal. And something I've been saying is we're all stupid. in some ways.
We are all equal
Now,
in stupidity.
now I want to say it how Karl Popper said it. We are all equal, and I'm paraphrasing here. We're all equal in the sense that we are all infinitely far away from perfection.
Yeah. That's what I meant. We are all equal in stupidity. We are not better than them.
And that's another way of saying what David Deutsch said, and this is the title of his book, The Beginning of Infinity. We are always at the beginning of infinity, at the start. We have an infinity to go forward. Each time we think we've like gone into the future or whatever, or gotten closer to perfection, because let's say we came up with some new idea that dramatically changed everything, like a new paradigm. Every time we do that, there's still another one coming.
No, I don't. It will never stop.
And let's suppose it is going to stop. It's not fucking today and it's not anytime soon. Give it a fucking million years.
Yeah.